no longer have the media rumors. Many reputable news agencies and journalists have confirmed the agreement between Manchester United and Erik ten Hag. Accordingly, the initial contract will last for 3 seasons with an automatic extension of 2 years. This is the story of mutual respect in the football world, and for you guys to have a visual perspective on the unique tactical philosophy of the Dutchman, we would like to offer you our own opinion based on the recent Champions League quarter-final match between Ajax Amsterdam and Benfica. Please consider subscribing to our channel to support the production team of Random Football. Firstly, we need to understand that Ajax Amsterdam lost to Benfica at the Johan Cruyff Arena. But in terms of tactical perspective, we all have to admit that Erik ten Hag's team dominated their opponents and only lost the match due to a moment that former Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger once said, "Failure is obvious when you attack a lot without scoring a goal." Ajax in the last 3 years is a scoring machine with more than 100 goals against teams in the Dutch league in 2 full seasons. They also play dedicated attacking football and have twice reached the knockout stages of the Champions League, something Erik ten Hag predecessors failed to do since 2016. Therefore, using the match between Ajax and Benfica as an example would be merely from a tactical perspective, and Random Football believes that Manchester United fans will be over the moon if their favourite team plays the same style as the Dutch reigning champion, a style that combines all 3 famous tactical philosophy of Tiki-Taka, Gegenpressing and total football. Build up from the back. Of course, a sweeper keeper is the key factor right away. Watch Andre Onana actively move to create a favourable space for centre-back Jurrien Timber to handle the ball and cause Benfica's striker Darwin Núñez to miss the pressing momentum. A few seconds earlier, when the ball was about to be brought in from the flank, left centre-back Lisandro Martinez actively moved up, leaving behind right centre-back Jurrien Timber, goalkeeper Andre Onana, and right-back Noussair Mazraoui. This means Ajax will still create a back 3 system due to the great role of the sweeper keeper. Ajax always wants the ball holder to have at least 2 passing options, as it is rather too dangerous to move the ball around with the lack of passing direction, and a long ball forward is not ten Hag's favourite idea. Therefore, this team always creates an overwhelming number of players, regardless of how many players the opposition team uses to organize a pressing trap. That is also the basic philosophy of the Tiki-Taka style that Pep Guardiola is currently maneuvering at Manchester City. In addition, Ten Hag always varies the way his team manages possession. He wanted to build up play with 3 players in defense, and this is the first demonstration with Daley Blind, Lisandro Martinez and Jurrien Timber, while right-back Noussair Mazraoui moved into the final third as a winger. Midfield fluidity. Previously, Ajax played in a 4-2-3-1 formation with Frankie de Jong and Lasse Schöne as the 2 deep midfielders and Donny van der Beek just ahead. But over time, Erik ten Hag prefers a 4-3-3 formation with Edson Alvarez playing more of a holding role at the bottom of an inverted triangle, while Ryan Gravenberch and Steven Berghuis rotating their positions up the field. However, the basic rule is always that the deep-lying playmaker will be the one to pass the most on the team, besides the 2 central defenders. Their job is to step back into the defensive line in the first ball deployment situations. They are then forced to stay close to the ball controller to both dominate possession in the final third and break down the opponent's counter-attack once the ball is lost. Ten Hag pays special attention to the defensive supportability of the holding midfielder, meaning this player does not only stand near the ball controller in the middle of the pitch. This footage shows that when Jurrien Timber moves forward, Edson Alvarez actively steps back to cover the exact position left by the Dutch defender. So, Ajax Amsterdam still has enough players to organize their defense if needed. Then, in a situation where Benfica attack down the middle, Edson Alvarez continued to move vertically, unwillingly to intercept any potential through ball. Here, we are talking about tactical awareness, not the player's ability, meaning that whether Alvarez can complete his task or not, we should still appreciate the tactical ideas of the coaching staff. For Ryan Gravenberch and Steven Berghuis, the fundamental position of this box-to-box midfielder pair is the same as the two typical number 8, right behind the forward line and slightly higher than the deep-lying playmaker Edson Alvarez. However, based on the heat map in the home match against Benfica, the main role of Gravenberch and Berghuis is focused on supporting the attack. Ten Hag loves to create an attacking triangle in the area between the half space and wide space thanks to the mobility of the two box-to-box midfielders, as well as the defender and the winger, as the image appearing on your screen right now. This way of playing helps Ajax attack with a constant large number of players in the final third. Let's take a look at this situation. When striker Antony took control of the ball, right back Nusayr Mazraoui and midfielder Steven Berghuis immediately rushed forward. Then, when Antony cut inside, the first triangle moved back to the wing, while the second triangle continued to penetrate the opponent's defense. On the opposite side, this form is still at a potential level with Daley Blind, Ryan Gravenberch and Dusan Tadic. Besides, one of the two box-to-box midfielders, Ryan Gravenberch, also created a remarkable ball when he moved to the right wing to increase the overload, at the same time making the opponent's defense shape move with him. And that's why Steven Berghuis switched the ball to the left despite Dusan Tadic being in a relatively comfortable position. This total football factor also points to a difference in the role of the two box-to-box midfielders. Ryan Gravenberch is not usually on ball, but runs into channels and competes for the ball more than Steven Berghuis, who seems like a playmaker in situations where creativity is needed against the opponent's low block shape. High pressing and Gegenpressing. When putting pressure on the opponent, it is clear that Ajax is also as genuinely aggressive as Manchester City or Liverpool in terms of ideas. They are aggressive and always maintain the same number of players as their opponents in high-pressing situations. The purpose, of course, is to not allow the opponent to have more passing options than to launch a long ball forward. But perhaps you should ask yourself, why does Ajax want to force their opponent to make a long ball forward? Well, in modern-day football, the classic giant strikers have disappeared and smaller strikers will often be at a disadvantage with their backs against taller central defenders. Therefore, forcing the opponent to make a long ball forward is just letting the ball fall into a state of an aerial duel, and the win rate is always higher for defenders as they are in a more active status. In situations where Ajax lost the ball, Erik Ten Hag established the 3-second rule, which is the maximum time for them to regain possession. And this factor is also considered the basic principle of the Dutch strategist about Gegenpressing. Take this situation for an example. When Daley Blind failed to recover a loose ball, as soon as the opponent moves forward, holding midfielder Edson Alvarez immediately rushed forward to close down, attempting to retrieve the ball. Thus, Ajax Amsterdam completed their gegenpressing state in less than 3 seconds. When defending in blocks, it can be seen that Ajax seems to maintain the 4-3-3 formation but does not leave it in a static state, meaning that each position needs to be aware of the active movement to steal the ball. And that's why this team's lineup is always temporarily disproportionate, even though that divergence does not make them fall into a passive state against the opponent. In conclusion, Manchester United's playing style under Erik ten Hag is a possible combination of Tiki-Taka, Gegenpressing, and total football, quite similar to what Ajax Amsterdam is operating. In addition, the Red Devils fans can rest assured that their team will not play defensively with head coach Ten Hag, knowing that the ball possession percentage Ajax created in the Dutch league is up to 62.7%. In another video of our Erik ten Hag review, we will provide detailed statistics on Ajax Amsterdam against today's top European clubs. Please keep in mind that this is a super strong team in terms of controlling as well as dominating the opponent. For now, goodbye and see you next time.